It's Jess, and I am here with show and tell number 3, and today we're actually going to be making a card set as for a gift. And I have already done some stuff off camera that I will go ahead and show you. I cut down a piece of craft cardstock. This is actually 2 sheets of paper to make 3 cards. And normally I would make 4 cards in a set, but I wanted to use this Think Big Favorite stamp set from Paper Tray. And it has 3 sentiments in it, and I wanted all the cards in the set to coordinate. So for this particular gift, I'd probably just go ahead and make 2 of each type of card. So we will get right to it. I've also cut some pieces of cream cardstock down to 4 inches by 5.2 inches, and this will make an 1/8 of an inch mat for our cards. So as you can see, what that means is that there is an 1/8 of an inch border around the whole card. So what we're going to be doing today is working with a lot of distress inks. And this large background stamp, this is the fabric background from Hero Arts. And it is a cling stamp, which means I could mount it to an acrylic block, but I like to just lay it flat and then lay my paper on top of it. So what we're going to do is ink up this stamp with a lot of different inks, but I'm going to work in groups of 3. So for the first time we ink the stamp, I'm going to use Broken China, Milled Lavender, and Dusty Concord Distress inks. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply this randomly to the stamp wherever I want to. I try not to overlap them too much, but that's okay. Okay, so now I have it inked up with all my different inks, and I'm going to take this mister. This is the large mister from Ranger. They also make these little guys, which are called mini misters, and I really like these, but if I'm doing like a big set like this, sometimes I'll run out of water and then I have to refill them, which is annoying. Or I'll have one filled with perfect pearls and I'll only have one with water, which is also annoying. So I have purchased the big mister and I love it. It lasts for a long time. So this is just water in here, and I'm going to just spritz the background stamp. That was like 4 times maybe. There, 5. Okay, so it's pretty wet, I would say. And now I'm going to go ahead and apply my card front onto the stamp. And just go ahead and apply pressure with your fingertips there. And this is going to be sort of a watercolor look, so it doesn't need to be totally perfect. Now just lift that off. And you can see already how pretty that background is. We have a dark purple over there, that's the Dusty Concord. Then we have the Milled Lavender that's a little bit lighter purple, and then we have the bright blue of that Broken China that's so pretty. So now what I'm going to do is just set this aside to dry. I could hit it with my heat gun, which works great, but I do think that you get more of a natural like drying pattern, like you don't push the ink around if you just let it air dry, and air drying really doesn't take that long. So especially when I'm working in a set like this, I will just go ahead and let it air dry. So I've cleaned off my stamp there, and I have my other piece. So for this one we'll do Peel Paint, Shabby Shutters, and Spiced Marmalade. And you can see that I'm kind of working in 2 colors that are the same and 1 that are different. And I could do 3 different colors, but I think this just kind of adds a little bit of cohesiveness to the project. And I always try to put the darker color towards the bottom. I just think that that looks better visually when everything's said and done. as you can see, I have all of my pieces here. They're all done being inked, and they're still a little bit damp to the touch. They're not quite dry yet. So what I'm going to do is dust over them with some Perfect Pearls. This is the plain Perfect Pearl. They come in a ton of different colors, but this is the one I would start off with to see if you like using these. And I'm just going to dust over the top of these using the brush that came with the Perfect Pearls. You could also just use a big paintbrush, whatever you have on hand, and just dust right over the ink, and that moisture that is left over from the ink will pick up the pearls and really give a nice shine to your project. And you can put more on depending on how shiny you want it. I don't want it to be overwhelming, so I'm just gonna do one coat of it. But you can really tell when the light hits it. I'm not sure if you can tell up here in the camera, but there a little bit you can. And you just see that little shiny pearlescent kind of glow, and it just adds a little something extra to your project. So for Perfect Pearls, you don't have to set them with anything. You could spritz them with water, but I really don't think that that's necessary. I think they stay on just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and continue that process with the other two here, just dusting it right over the ink. You really can't mess up here. Okay, so now we're ready to assemble our card, and originally I thought I was going to use all of the sentiments in this set, but I really like the way this larger birthday wishes sentiment looks. You can see I've put together the other two already here, and it really holds its own against that large background stamp. So I'm just going to make a set of 3 birthday cards instead, which would still work as a great gift because you always need birthday cards. So it's a really quick assembly process here. We are just going to go ahead and adhere the card front onto the front of the card with ATG. Make sure you get it lined up. Okay, so we have that mounted. Now we will take our sentiment strip. This is 1.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And I'm going to take just a square punch here to make a little banner edge. And I don't make mine perfect, and I would not recommend this punch. This is from a long time ago. And these are the only square punches I have because when I first started buying stuff, I didn't know. So I bought these punches that I don't like, but they still get the job done. Now I'm going to ink the edges of this with some worn lipstick. All right. And now it's time to stamp our sentiment. I'm stamping them in Memento black ink. It's just one of my favorite inks. I use it all the time. Go ahead and push that on there. Perfect. All right, now we are going to mount it to the card using dimensional adhesives. From start to finish, this card set of 3 probably took me, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe, if that. So it would be super easy to crank out a bunch of these for a gift to go along with some Christmas gifts or a birthday gift. And you could even simplify the process if you just adhered this onto the card instead of with your ATG instead of using these foam pieces. You could also skip the Perfect Pearl step just to keep things a little bit quicker and easier. All right, now we'll just go ahead and adhere this. I haven't really been measuring where I've been adhering these, but just a little bit from the bottom. And I'm lining up this edge with the edge of the mat that I made. And the banner sticks off the edge, but I'm okay with that. All right, now the last step, the finishing touch, is to put on some coordinating pearls. So for these I used the blue, and these I used the orange. And so for this one I think I'll use the pink. And my favorite pearl combination to do, and you'll probably notice that I do this a lot, is to do the small one, the medium one, and the large one. For some reason, I just really like how that looks together. And I always have like a weird amount of pearls left, it seems like, no matter what I'm doing. But I always can seem to find a small and a medium and a large. So it works out with what I have left too. And these are already have adhesive on them, so I don't need to worry about messing with that either. All right, now you can see all of the cards together. Perfect for a birthday or holiday. They have that pearlescent shine to them just to give them a little something extra. And they came together really quick. So thanks so much for watching this week, you guys. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below here at YouTube or the comments over at my blog, jesslarson.blogspot.com.
All right, before I go, I wanted to show you, I actually ended up making a lot more cards using this technique and using the other sentiments in the set. Just same technique, couple different background stamps, and it came together pretty quick. And here's a blooper for you guys to check out as well.
All right, what I should have done before I mounted that on there, now that I'm filming, I keep messing it up. What I should have done before I mounted it on there was stamp the sentiment onto the sentiment strip. But it's okay. We can still go back and do it. It'll just make things a little trickier.